All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Spintires. I'm a little ticked off at Spintires right now because for some reason I have issues with their volume level, and every time I try to record a series, I got about 2.5 hours into the river. Everything was going great, took a break, came back the next day. My volume levels all changed in the game, unbeknownst to me, so I recorded another 2.5 hours, and the microphone was not even, you couldn't even hear me talking in the microphone. It was a very aggravating experience. I was a little torqued, to say the least. I lost about 4 hours of recording, and as I'm a busy guy right now because of work, that's not a happy situation for me, but what are you going to do? So right after I released my Volcano series, they came in and did a whole bunch of new updates for Spintires. So one of the things they added this proving ground. You can also just continue your game right from here, or you can click play, and that brings us to the big change, okay? You can now have mods. They fixed so much stuff in this game, it's hard to go over it, but as we go through this first and maybe second and third episode, we're going to be talking about the changes that have happened in the game because there's so much to it. First of all, they added a bunch of new trucks. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. They have the Ural, which the Ural now has larger tires, so that's the I think it's the C4630 or something like that. But that unit now has larger wheels, so it gets over the terrain better. They changed the way the terrain works. The terrain in this game now, you can see there's 7.4 hours on all that lost. Oof, makes me mad. The terrain is totally different now, so it's a little bit easier to get across the terrain. You don't get stuck as easily. You still can get pretty bogged, but they took out the fact that, when you go through water and stuff, you don't get stuck every single time you go through water. It's a much easier process now. So you can actually complete a map without having to use the monster-sized trucks. However, that brings me to a point. They took out most of the monster-sized trucks. They're still there, but you don't have access to them on some of the maps. So, like, for example, the river, it used to have both the MAZ, and we'll go in here. Well, let's look at the Manage Mods. So here, we're going to go here first. Here's our Manage Mods area. There's no new mods left. There's no new uncertified mods either. But you go in here, you'll have a list of mods, and then you can click the over button and it'll install it into your game. So I've got all these mods that I've added. Then we can go back. You can also browse. This takes you a link to the website, but this is really cool. So I can add and remove trucks from the game. But the nice thing is now when you come to a map and you're going to start it as a new map, you can come in here and pick your first two trucks. So you have a star rating. This game the river allows me to have 3 stars. They've given me 2 trucks. I have the A469, which is the UAZ, and then they also give me the B66, which I believe is well, you'll see it. I forget what the name of this truck is, but it's a very famous Russian truck. It's this guy here, the B66. I can't remember what the name is, but it's in the farm sim too. Veco, I can't remember the name of this truck. It's some other brand that's pretty popular, but I think it might be MAZ, a MAZ truck. But anyway, so you start with these two. This one's worth 1 point. This one's worth 2. But I can get rid of both of these trucks and pick a 3-pointer and just have that as my truck. Or this guy's 3 points, or this guy's 3 points. So I can pick any of these trucks and just have one truck instead of starting with 2, an exploration vehicle and a truck. Other things that I can do, because of the new ground handling, the B130 ZIL actually is a much better truck now. You can actually, if you have the chain tires, you can do a lot of stuff with this truck that you couldn't do before. So I've always loved the ZIL, but it now becomes much more useful because you can actually transverse the terrain with it. Now, on the other side, though, they took out the 4-wheel drive. They still have it. I think it's the 6522. This is the one that came with the game originally. This is our Camas. This truck is still available in game, but they've removed it on some of the maps where they had it, and they've replaced it with this guy, the 6520. What's the difference? This guy, hang on a second. So the difference is this truck does not have 4-wheel drive. It's 2-wheel drive. I'm sorry, it is 4-wheel drive, but it's just the rear wheels that drive. And it does not get these off-road tires. It has road tires and it has off-road tires, but they're small double-wheel tires like this. They basically have a more aggressive tread pattern that doesn't work at all when you get into the mud. So this becomes a truck that has to be pulled around by this or maybe the Zill. And here's a new Zill, by the way. Here's a B131. This truck is awesome, but this truck is also cute and good. So, all right, so we're going to do the river tonight. We're going to go with the default trucks. The B66 makes it a challenge because the B66 can only carry a utility pack. But it's a good exploration map because this is the river, of course, is hard to get across. So having the B66 as our truck as our go-to truck is a good. We'll add a bit of challenge, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So let's go ahead and start the game. Yeah, bye-bye. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna take a look around, and here's the UAZ. I don't really know that we're gonna use the UAZ much because I'm so used to the farm sim. What happens is I go back and forth between these games, and I can't remember what buttons are what. All right, so we're gonna get in the B66. This is our utility truck. Unfortunately, this is all. See, this is all it can have. You can have a spare wheel, or you can have the utility attachment. It's cool because this truck can be used to pull other trucks. It's pretty tough. It's also always diff locked, which is kind of an interesting thing. But turn the parking brake off. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run up here, past the B130, and we're gonna head down the main road and unlock the first and second cloak, and then we'll cross the river and move out that way. We may also get the fuel truck to its location. Unfortunately, with the river, because of the river, there's quite a bit of back and forth, but it is what it is. We'll probably use this guy to trailer our first garage truck across. One of the reasons why we need the Zill is because the Zill can pull a trailer and it can also carry a garage point. So I think it can. So if we want to unlock that other garage, which we're going to need to do, well, there you go. So you can see here, even in the mucky muck, this truck just pulls right through. One of the things we learned in the last episode with the volcano map is that your diff locks actually don't take much gas. It's the all-wheel drive system that eats up gas. So if you want to get better fuel economy, just keep your diffs locked. But turn the all-wheel drive off. Sorry, I was getting a drink of water. But because of all the back and forth, this map can take a long time. So I'm still deciding if I include all the content for it. I guess we can, because really, I mean, what else is going on, right? It'll just mean that there's more episodes. So here's our first stop. Here's the little Zill. He's our little friend. And we're going to attach to him and drag him back to the garage. One of the things that I will note that is that they also, remember how I was really whining about all the trees everywhere? They've reduced them. They're still there, but they've reduced the amount of trees that are there. And plus, with the new physics that they've set up, it's a little bit easier to get around them. So the Zill's going to start up, and we're going to drag the Zill back. We're basically going to have a truck drag party. And we're going to be, the Zill we're going to take, and we're going to put him, we're going to change him into chained tires. And we'll see if he might be able to make it all the way to the garage by himself. So we'll see. But if we need to, we can grab the B66 and drag him. But the B66 is going to be definitely our exploration truck for across the river. That's going to be a definite. Because, like I said, it's really hard to get across the river. I have not successfully crossed the river in the UAZ. I'm sure it can be done, but not easily. And you will incur a decent amount of damage trying. So come on, Mr. Zill. This is such a cool truck. Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing I forgot to tell you. We have a driver now. He loves to turn the wheel a lot. As you can see here, he's steering. And you know what? With my volume problems, we're going to take a break here for a sec. I'm going to double check and make sure I'm getting volume. Yes, we have no bananas. Yeah, sound is working. So I'm going to try to do this in the most efficient manner possible. Last time I tried doing all kinds of different stuff, got really stuck with different trucks, made stupid mistakes, and it was a disaster. What's up, Mater? How you doing, buddy? You're gonna get water? He's gonna get some water. Some waddy. Mr. Truck. What are you doing, truck? I love this game. I wish it hadn't lost my progress because that was frustrating, but I do love this game. I do love it. Love. Love, love, love. I think I'm in love. Alright, so the Zill has been returned to the garage. Watch your mouth, boy. I don't know what he said there, but it wasn't bad, but I was just being silly. Okay, one of the things I don't like about this is it's sometimes hard to navigate around the menu that they pop up. And it doesn't flex to where you are, so it's kind of like always in the way. In your face. Hold on a second, folks. Ryan has something to tell me. We are going to order pizza. Hooray. All right, so we got a garage trailer. For sure we need that. But this one doesn't get interesting. What if we take off the carriage? Carries one garage point. What good is that? But what are you going to do? That's all we got. So we have 3 garage points with us right now, I think. So it's not enough to unlock a garage, but whatever. So let's go ahead and start heading that direction. Alright, so get her started. Oops. One of the things that I like that they changed, and I don't remember if this was how it was in the last patch, but they improved the wheels on the garage trailer, so it no longer has those big semi-wheel, or what do you call those, bogies or whatever you call them, but they're actually like lightweight, light-duty wheels, which actually probably helps with not getting stuck. I mean, maybe you have less ability to stay above the mud with that, but they don't get stuck as easily. It seemed like the other trailers just got stuck all the time. So, hang on a second, folks. Spacebar pause. So you can see here, though, I'm pulling right ahead, even with the with this trailer on here. I'm not having any issues getting stuck. Unfortunately, I probably am going to have to make the trip again. I don't see how else you would do this, though, because we don't really have a truck that could pull it. I wish they would give chained wheels to the 6520 or whatever it is, the Camas. 65520, I believe is the call number. We're getting mucked down a little bit here, but see, we pulled through, so not too bad, not too shabby. Abby. I'm going to try to keep it over towards the side here, because if we get stuck, we need to be able to winch to trees. It's hard to kill a Zill. Yeah, you guys know from watching the series, I just love this truck. I like it because it's old, and I'm really glad that they upgraded it so it can actually get through some of this muck. You know, obviously with this huge thing on the back, it's not going to help much, but it's a fun little truck. Now, what we might do is we might drop these garage points off and then run back, get fuel, and then grab one more garage point. Because that way, and then on the way back, we'll rescue the Camas, because the Camas is over on this side of the river. I have, you know, I'm cheating. I know a little bit more about the map than Camas is over here. It always has been. We might be stuck. We might need to have the B66 pull us. I don't know. We'll see. When you get into these places where you're going uphill, it gets a little bit difficult to pull. Thankfully, we were able to winch to that tree and pull ourselves out, so we should be clear sailing now. The big roads are kind of a scary place for the Zill when he's got a heavy load like this, because there's nothing to grab onto if you get stuck in the middle of the road. I'm glad I went to the left a little bit so I could reach that tree. One of the tricks with the Zill is to rock the wheels. Man, I think this garage carriage is too much for this truck to pull. So, unfortunately, you know, before we get further ahead, maybe we'll just do this. We're going to go back and we're going to grab our... Go back and grab our thingy. We're going to go to the B66. We'll grab him and shift him into reverse. Oh, parking brake is on. I hate the parking brake in this game. I wish they just would keep it off. Take a hint from Euro Truck Simulator, guys. Parking brake off unless you turn it on. If I wanted the parking brake, then I would have asked for the parking brake. I don't want the parking brake. I want it off. Now, because this truck always has diff locks on, I just run it in drive. I don't often shift it into reverse or forward because it's just always going to be running. So, train. How? We have a neighbor. Not really a neighbor. They're behind our house and probably maybe at least a half mile away. But that's the next house behind us. Because there's like that, we have like a valley. Sometime we're going to have to make a video and show you guys what my yard looks like and all that stuff. Because you hear all these things on the video, like there's the train, and like where is the train? At some point, maybe during the winter, I'll get out there and show you what our backyard looks like. Though I do have some videos with my drone where you can see our house and our backyard. But anyway, these guys were having like a major shootout back there. There were guns going off for like 20 minutes, just like... At first I was like, what on earth is that? Like, it sounded like World War III happening in our backyard. And I realized that Ryan and I stopped what we were doing and jumped up to the window, and I put my ear to the tracks and said, you know what that is? That's somebody shooting guns. And they do that frequently. It's not like it's something that never happens, but I've never heard them go at that intensity before. My camera's stuck. What? Okay. There we go. So we can see here, we'll just pull the Zill along. He's bouncing. Boing. Boing. Should be fine. Isn't that a picture? Actually, I'd like to get a snapshot of this. Hang on. Zill train. Let's see. How do I do this? Function. So now you say, where'd you get that picture from? Now you know. There's the front page. So anyway, I'm loving this game again. I really, it went from, I mean, there's still some frustrating parts. One of the things that you will notice, on this map especially, I don't know about the other maps yet, but they've replaced our D597 or whatever it is, the big Maz, and even the middle-sized Maz, the smaller Maz, the 535, those have both been replaced by a Kurovitz tractor. The Kurovitz is really cool sounding. It's really cool looking. We'll see it later on as we play. But the problem is the Kurovitz also doesn't have the pull power that those big trucks have. And it'll get stuck when you're trying to pull other trucks out. It's almost useless because it doesn't have the power to pull other trucks out of mucky situations. So you'll have that thing going, and then it's like you can't do anything with it. It's useless. It takes, it doesn't take a lot of fuel to run it, but it just bogs out. So I had a situation where I got a truck stuck in the river, and I went to rescue it, and I couldn't rescue it with the Zill. I had to use another one of the trucks to get it out. So that's kind of frustrating. I wish they would have left at least one big utility truck in, but they didn't. They left us with that. So a little more of a challenge. Oh, another thing that's changed, and these are things that are going to come to me as we go. You no longer get just to have logs where you pull in and they fill you up. You have to load logs into a kiosk and then use a crane to load them onto the truck. So we've done that before for fun to try it out, but now we're at a point where you have to do that. There is no auto loading. You have to load them yourself. So that's a little bit different. Went the wrong way here. Sorry. Yeah, but you can see with this setup, no problem. We're able just to pull the Zill along and get this guy going. So, but you do need to have the Zill. The Zill just doesn't have the power to pull those trailers. It needs someone to help it here. So this is like a little help session, a little Zill therapy. We'll see what we get when we get done here. I may have to run back one more time to unlock this garage. But once we do, oh, that log has got me. Look at the Zill's pushing me over. I didn't see that rock. Otherwise I would have. This is what happens to my RC truck all the time. The RC truck's a little easier to get unstuck, though. Though sometimes I have to go over with my foot. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, get that rock. Oh, jeez. Stupid rock. Man, it's really got me high-centered. See if the Zill can do it. Look at the Zill's pushing me over. Yep, there we go. Hurrah for the Zill. All right, I guess I have to turn the lights on now. We didn't lose the trailer or nothing, right? Nope. That was pretty cool. Godzilla to the rescue. My friend. My Zill friend. My children are howling downstairs. I better go see what that's about. Hold on. Nope, they're just playing. Okay. Get out of the way, birdies. Whoa. My computer froze up for a minute there. You guys see that? That's kind of bizarre. It's taking a lot more gas than I wanted it to. Gauze. Sweet. This is so cool. I love stuff like this. Road train. Dinosaur train. Dinosaur train. We're gonna ride. Dinosaur train. You can tell I have kids. Many. I have a plethora. So Mark is doing well. He has shown us his little dorm. He has a really nice roommate, and it's cool because they it's the same person that one of the guys that he was in his flight for basic training or BMT or whatever they call it. So they were friends, while they were at BMT, and so it's neat that they got to room together. And I think I've told you guys some of the stuff, but he's bought a 3DS and he got a laptop so he could play games. It's just nice to be able to talk to him all the time, I really miss him. He's a nice kid. He's a good kid. Nope, there's some of those logs. But see, they're smaller ones now. They're not as big of a deal. So they've really and they've gotten them off the middle of the road. They haven't put them in general in places so you can't get to things. What's the matter, Roo? What'd you get? Marcos. I hope I have Tums. Do I have Tums there somewhere? Marcos gives me heartburn. I apologize for the background noise. Ryan is... Actually, I'm teaching Ryan how to edit photos, and he's going to be taking over part of that for me, because over the next... Oh, what the heck? over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to have to get 8 weddings done. So he's going to be editing on one computer, and I'm going to be editing on the other one. We're going to be working together. So tonight he is doing a wedding by himself, and he's doing a great job. He's gotten about 1/8 of it done, which, you know, it sounds like not a lot, but it's actually a pretty decent amount. He's going to be working all night, though, because he needs to get it to where it's halfway done. Yeah. What did you say? Yeah, see? You're good. He's flying. All right, so here's our garage up ahead. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be enough points to unlock the garage. I'm probably going to have to go back for one more run with the Zill. Unfortunately, I'm starting to get low on fuel, so... But this garage thing can carry fuel, so we'll run the Zill over, get some gas, and we'll fill it up with gas, too, so it has the ability to refuel all these trucks. It carries, I think, 400 liters of extra fuel, so... And the Zill will be just fine by itself without that trailer on it, so... Let's see what happens. Maybe that other carriage carries 3 points. I don't think so. I think it carries 2. All right. So we're going to hop in, change truck. We're going to hop into the Zill, and we're going to unload 3 rat boogers. Okay, so we're going to have to go back now with the Zill. Turn the parking brake off. Now, the Zill, you have to shift into gear to get it to go with the diff locks, but we're going to ride back. Yeah, already we need to shift into low gear. Yeah. Boy, they look really bored kissing, don't they? Jeez. Hold on a sec. I don't want to get sick. You cannot have a sip of my water. No sip for you. No sip for you. Do, do, do. No sip for you. No sip for you.
Why is this crooked? I can't tell.
I don't know. No sip for you.
Get out of here.
I don't want you sipping on my water, mater boy. Cause you're gonna make me sick. And I don't want to be sick. So I'm gonna say no sips for you. Do 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 do. No sips for you. No sips for you.
Okay, leave.
Pizza.
How much of a tip should I give you guys?
How many pizzas did you get? Then give him $3. Oh, I should have never stopped. $3.79. Now, the one thing the Zill does need, it helps it a lot, is if you have weight on the back. When you don't have any trailer on the back, it does get stuck easier. I've noticed that. The weight actually helps push the wheels down in, and you get more traction because you're being shoved into the mud. Here, I can't even get... I'm trying to get out of the muck, and I can't... It just keeps sinking in. Come on. Sandy bottom here. There we go. Almost free. Oh. Almost.
All settings in this picture.
Reset.
Reset.
Yep.
I'm not gonna make this one black and white.
You're not going to make it black and white?
Make this one black and white.
Okay. That one? Okay. Make sure you get the color right on that one. That one's kind of browny looking. Let's see. Well, the church is brown, but yeah. Thanks, Ryan. No, not the parking brake, the diff lock. I always do that. I press the wrong button for parking brake. You think after playing this game for hours, and I mean, literally, I've put 200 to 300 hours into this game. You'd think I would remember what buttons do what, but I never do. I always end up turning the parking brake on, which, of course, brings my awesome drivability to a complete halt, and I have to start over again, and whatever. Makes me want to cry.